Today, technology takes on the hardest work, making it faster and easier. But it is the experience and skill of professionals, combined with machines and tools, that make the result truly efficient. Let's take a look at people who know their craft well and genuinely love what they do. This is a device that wraps trees in wire, securing them for transport. A rotating drum machine cuts dough into small uniform pieces. The machine takes several steel wires and twists them together to produce a strong steel cable. This machine monitors how a conveyor belt carries packs of water bottles and, if they are not aligned, automatically straightens them, so they travel in a single file. This is a machine that manufactures shoe insoles. To do this, material is poured into molds and compressed, after which a finished insole is produced. This machine is designed to pick up objects from the floor using a special drum and place them into a box while in motion. This is the process of manufacturing fuel briquettes. After one batch is produced, the machine is cleaned, and then it produces the next batch. A machine clamps and bends corrugated pipes by rotating them sideways. The blank is clamped in the machine, which then blows it into various shapes, such as a hemisphere. This is a process of making a wire cup-shaped brush for an angle grinder, where all its components are first assembled and then clamped in the machine. A machine twists a metal sheet into a funnel shape. Car rims are placed in special granules that help clean the rim while washing with water. Since water spills out of the wheelbarrow during transport, here is a bag that allows you to carry water in the wheelbarrow without spilling it along the way. Liquid rubber is applied to the molds, and under pressure in the machine, they take the shape of phone cases. This is a convenient mechanism for lifting a bucket with a load up and down. To do this, simply attach a structure with two rollers at the top. By clamping a shovel in the manipulator's vise, it scoops up material, delivers it to the desired location, and spreads it out entirely without human intervention. By attaching a special conical attachment to the brush cutter, the man quickly cuts a whole row of holes in the ground. A man made his life easier by attaching a pipe to his chainsaw, and now all the sawdust that flies out through the pipe falls into a bucket. An adjustable saw machine trims boards to the same length. The video shows a machine that, when securing a potato, rotates it onto a special blade that cuts it in a spiral, leaving it on a skewer. The man placed a tubes with no bottom in the puddle and used a vacuum cleaner to suck up all the water from the puddle, creating a vacuum inside the tubes. The machine sorts metal and plastic cans into separate containers. The cleaned metal wires are transferred to a pit with presses that compress them into a rectangular shape and then stacked in piles. A special machine first secures the wooden blank in place, then trims it on all sides and cuts a hole for the handle to form a cutting board. This machine is designed to reshape the handle of the ratchet, giving it a textured pattern, so it doesn't slip out of your hands. Concrete is poured into a bag of a specific shape, and it gradually fills the bag until it is completely filled with concrete, and then they move on to the next one. A machine moves across the lake, collecting algae with a front conveyor. An aerator is mounted in the pole, rotating from side to side and spraying water around, so that sand and dust settle faster. The excavator bucket evenly pours concrete into the trench already filled with concrete along the entire length of the trench. A road machine pours concrete and forms two even berms along the sides. A system where road blocking posts retract underground and rise automatically when needed. The video shows a machine for cutting metal, which is used to first cut the edges of the metal angle, cut off a piece and bend it at a 90 degrees angle. This is an automatic gate opening system, where a wheel device moves away on its own, opening the gate in the process. A car tire is pulled through a drainage tunnel under the road, cleaning it as it passes through. The side of the car is attached to the gate, and when it opens, it looks as though the car is driving off to the side. To get out of a funnel-shaped pit, a man starts running in a circle, gradually increasing his height until he climbs out. A special machine folds the edges of the blank at a 90 degrees angle until the blank takes on the required shape. The video shows how to create serrated edges at the top of pants or shorts to hold the elastic band in place using a serrated roller. As dough is fed from the dispenser into the machine with two spirals at the bottom, perfectly shaped balls fall. The man feeds air into the barrel through the opening at the top, and the contents of the barrel pour out through the opening at the bottom, and the man shovels them further with his hand. The wires won't solder to the spot on the board, so the man dips them in liquid rosin, and the wire solders easily. Using sealant, the man first seals the edges, and then the entire wall of the device, leaving only the wires exposed. By attaching a darkened glass to the welding machine, the man can now weld without wearing a helmet and without risking damage to his eyesight. The platform strikes the blank several times, forming the head of the nail. It is then sheared at the desired length and falls out among the others. The heated blank of the adjustable wrench is placed on a special machine, which cuts the wrench itself from the excess metal on the side. Heated plastic is placed into a special mold, where air spreads it along the walls to form a large container for liquids. A blank of a specific shape is continuously fed forward, and when it reaches a certain length, a worker cuts off a section to form a part. This is a quick and creative way to load suitcases into a truck by forming a slide down which the suitcases roll from top to bottom. A special attachment pulls branches in front of the vehicle into the transport as it moves, shredding them into tiny pieces and ejecting them from the rear. This is a sharp blade mounted on the side of the tractor. As it passes, it trims 3 branches evenly, maintaining a consistent distance from the field. A pineapple is secured and peeled by turning a side handle. The car is driven into a spot at the car wash, which automatically first applies foam to the entire car, then rinses it off on its own and applies wax. Clamp the ends of the fork in a vise, bend the prongs and the tube in opposite directions with pliers, polish, and you end up with a bracelet. Two long pipes are used to lower items and even descend by sitting on a shovel. After securing many logs at once in the excavator's vise, the saw cuts them, leaving behind many even logs of the same length. Several layers of barbed wire, stacked one on top of the other, are pulled out from the car's trailer as it moves. Here we see a special waterproof paste. When applied to the ceiling, it stops leaks no matter how many holes there are. By attaching white tines to a mechanism that lowers and raises them, they loosen the soil as the machine moves across the ground. After upgrading the motor cultivator, the attachment now pulls plants out of the ground without damaging them and deposits them behind the machine, lying on top of the surface. The self-propelled machine moves back and forth across a specific area, cutting and shredding all vegetation in its path. An excavator with a claw grabs the duckweed on the water surface and begins to twist the claw, winding the duckweed around it so that it can then be grabbed and easily pulled out. This is a machine that can bend metal pipes at various angles, simply by selecting the angle depending on where and how much it needs to be bent. A man uses a long pole as a lever to drag a large bundle of brushwood. This equipment easily cuts the top layer of grass and forms it into round bales for transport. This is a fish trap that looks like an umbrella from the outside, but it consists of a net with several holes. Bait is poured into it, and it is retrieved with a large number of eels and fish. An interesting clock design that displays the time using numbers and images created by water falling from the top of the arch. A car driving through the city leaves a trail of water behind it, and the reflection of light off it creates a rainbow. Concrete is poured into the mold and evenly leveled. After it hardens, the finished concrete slab is removed from the mold. This is a cardboard box that lies in a stack and doesn't take up much space, but once assembled, it is quite sturdy and has handles for carrying. A simple well system uses a tire to lift water from a lake into a bucket on shore. A special press bends a metal structure by compressing its jaws to the desired angle. The man uses a flamethrower to melt the snow on the ground, and keeps using it until the area he needs is completely clear. A man uses a bent tube with a blowtorch to burn evenly spaced holes in a tarp. The grain is lifted up through a special tube and poured into the trailer, making it a very easy way to load the trailer without using physical strength. The cup is placed on rollers and, as it rotates, a pattern is applied with paint from above, and then they move on to the next one. A finished bucket is removed from a special machine. All that remains is to clean up its edges, attach a handle and stack it with the others. The video shows a machine sealing insulating glass edges with rubber and stacking the finished paints sideways. Once the laser hits the fur coat, the color intensity on it changes, after which the machine moves on to the next item. A tractor driving down the road evenly scatters small stones in front of it, forming a smooth road surface. The video shows the process of applying a rubber coating to a suitcase, where a layer of rubber is inflated and then, as it deflates, adheres to the surface of the suitcase. Using a chainsaw with a milling attachment, a man saws a long log layer by layer into boards of equal length. This is a modified tractor equipped with additional wheels, allowing it to switch to tracks and quickly move to another location. This material can be chipped, shaped and polished to transparency. For example, to craft a cup, a machine equipped with cutting discs arranged in such a way that, after they cut the edge of the board, the desired protruding shape is formed. It shows a special device that makes it much easier to thread meat onto a skewer. You simply place the ground meat inside and clamp it in the device. An interesting method for creating a thread in a hole involves applying sealant to a threaded bolt, pushing it into the hole, snapping it off, and cleaning up the edges. Using a circular saw with a pivot on a rubber tube, its uneven edge is quickly cut off. Using two sturdy threaded rollers, threads are quickly cut into the workpiece placed between these rollers. The video shows a machine that applies labels to bottles, first on one side and then on the other, as the bottle is turned over. A shaft spinning very rapidly in a circle effectively shreds and grinds whatever is thrown in its path. This is a process of coating a surface with a special material using a clamping tool that moves around, spreading the material and removing any excess. Using a blower, water is quickly removed from a rubber mold as it is blown away by the airflow. After a layer of putty has been unevenly applied to the wall, the excess is removed, the surface is primed, and a special form is used to level it so that it looks perfectly shaped. This is a quick way to build the Da Vinci Bridge, where sticks are laid in a specific way, and now you can walk across it safely, even though there are no joints. An excavator pulls a stuck camel out with its bucket, allowing it to stand up and walk away. This is a tool for moving bales of hay. You roll the wheeled frame under the bale, secure it from above, and the hay is now ready for transport. A man uses an axe with a special metal attachment that splits firewood into smaller pieces faster. If a nut is completely rusted and can no longer be unscrewed from the bolt, you can use a tool that secures the nut and breaks off its side. Concrete is poured into a special mold and constantly compacted with a tool that workers stand on with their feet, and the result is a concrete component. To easily slide a long rebar through the reinforced belt, workers placed a plastic bottle on its end. A farmer in a greenhouse sprays plants against weeds using a hand-operated tool. A farmer uses a homemade container device to spray weeds without affecting the crops. Many people in the middle of the field pick corn cobs by hand and place them on a conveyor belt, which transports them further. A blank in the form of a metal ring is placed in the machine, and then it is compressed from different sides, and the blank takes on the desired shape. Part of the process of making a tool handle, specifically rounding the sharp corners of wooden sticks using a router. Using a circular screw-in die held in place with a wrench and a machine that rotates the parts, it is easy to cut new threads on the parts. Using glass bottles instead of bricks, people secure them with cement and build walls for an entire house out of them. Workers use a two-wheeled cart to move a heavy rail to the installation site. Using a spray gun, a man can very quickly paint even a surface like a ceiling.